It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Kyle.
Michigan's not big enough. It's got to be like Dubuque, like we've talked about.
You know, funny enough, that's like the third time in my personal life that Dubuque has come up in the last week. Because as you know, my wife, a former Dubuquean.
Former Dubuquean? I mean, I know it goes Iowan.
Iowan.
But if you want to get more particular, Dubuquer?
And Steve.
We're going to need our Dubuque contingency to check in.
I tell you, saying Dubuquer almost makes it seem like it's a rate, like an aggressive slur. Yeah, you would do that, you Dubuquer.
Oh, see, for me, it sounds like vomit.
You're also correct, which, you know, I would assume based on, you know, experience, Annette would probably say, yeah.
Yeah, she was probably much more into vomiting back then.
Now, here they are, two guys who are living in style, Steve and Kyle.
A totally unfair edit.
What an accusation to be thrown at, to be levied.
You know, I'm a man of art, and my art is the audio wave.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that my art there happened to be limited by the time that our intro provides.
Look, man, I know that upwards of once a week you go down into the lab.
And you know what I do in the lab.
You kick the family out. You say, no, Papa's creating. Get out.
You know when I get in that lab that I always leaving a little piece of myself down there. Mm-hmm. So this week when I ran out of time and I had to cut that piece off, Annette used to throw up more in Dubuque. It hurt me.
Sure.
So if she asks,
tell her that. I don't even need to know what to tell her because, as you and I both know, she's long gone.
That was the chewing, right?
It was the chewing. It was the chewing back in, I don't know, probably 2022.
Ago. Yeah, boy, should she still download it, you think?
You know, I'll grab her phone.
At least set it to like auto download. You know, we don't care if you listen.
Yeah.
Right? Just click that download button.
That's it.
Yeah, engage with the social media if you feel like, whatever.
That's all that matters. Yeah. Give us a thumbs up every now and then.
I did think while putting that together, I wanted to ask you, just hopefully, against hope, the most briefest of Dubuque follow-ups. is if you say Dubuque to or around Annette, is it an eye roll? Is she okay to open up about it? Is it like a time in her life where she would rather it never be mentioned again and we have opened up okay.
No, I think she's
okay
perfectly happy with it. Yeah.
Okay. Because
I think that she enjoyed her time there.
Okay.
I don't think she has any like resentment or hard feelings towards it.
I mean, because
why would you think bad about Dubuque? You know,
I think I know me personally, like correct me if I'm wrong. She moved there in part as part of a relationship, correct?
Well, she moved there because that's where a job was, and I believe that she had a tag along with her.
Got it. Okay, so it wasn't for that reason. It was
big loser.
That's the part that might be the sore.
Yeah, exactly. Big loser.
I mean, listen, not everybody's cut out to move to the big city. Mm-mm. Okay? You don't just up and leave rural community here in West Michigan and go to the hobnobbing, fast-paced life of Dubuque, Iowa and expect things to pan out.
No.
It's just not going to happen.
It's not for everybody. Hey, I know it's kind of early, but can we get to a very early round of...
Hey, folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14. Dear Pig.
Third time. There we go. My travels this week took me to Casper, Wyoming.
Boy, I got to tell you, I sorry to interrupt. I feel bad. I never follow up on your travel. Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't even know you were gone this weekend.
Yeah.
Until you had said, like, Thursday that you were headed out of town. And you know what I didn't do? Even ask you where you were going.
No, it's quite all right. If you did ask me, I'd feel like something was up.
Right. Oh, where are you headed this weekend? Hope you have fun.
No, nothing. I don't want any of that. So we were in Casper, Wyoming for a live show with the side gig. And during the show, two very nice women named Jessie and Brittany came up and they said, "We got stickers for you guys."
Yes.
And I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." But then they specifically looked at me and said, "But you get to pick the first one for the sticker wall." And I said,
right.
Absolutely. So I picked out this one with a jackrabbit on it that says Wyoming at the bottom.
Oh boy, love the jackrabbits.
And it's beautiful. So that's gonna, I'm gonna hand that to you. You get to put it up on the wall.
Do you hunt the Boy, I got to tell you now the pressure's on because you have proven yourself at this point.
I know where I'd put it
To be the master.
I can see the spot.
I see one
It
spot.
seems obvious.
Oh no, I'm on the clock. Now I'm nervous.
It's okay. If you get it wrong, you're just a big dumb idiot. Big stooge.
Because I'm looking at the door right now, and again, we let's not forget to take a picture of the updated sticker wall today. It's been a while.
Oh boy, actually, I see. I think I might have just found a.
I see one spot that I'm gonna walk. Why don't we play a little game of audio hot and cold?
A little hot and cold. Okay. Well, I mean,
and again, if I do it wrong,
you're walking towards a door, so I guess as long as you're in that direction, it's gonna be hot.
Okay, so maybe wait on the hot and cold until I'm like.
Putting your arm out or
Front
something.
door. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Getting warmer. Getting hotter. Oh boy, hot.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I'm going to start at what I think is the hottest spot. Steve.
Okay. All right. Cold.
Oh God. That was the only spot I had.
You were touching the door. That one's not bad.
It's not bad. It's a prime spot.
It's not bad. I was gonna go kind of north of Hope Solo to the east of Rad Racing.
Got it.
Kind of.
Here.
No. North of Solo.
Yeah. So that'd be.
Well, yeah, but I mean, not hidden by. Yeah, right there.
That's you can't read it from there. That's Disney Dads Do Better.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Yeah.
I can't even see that one just
it would
because
fit here pretty
that would be
snugly.
good. What about on top of Caitlin Clark?
Sure.
I don't think it'll fit
It
though,
won't
right?
fit either.
No.
I'm
Okay.
telling you, I'm not good at this.
You know something? I'm going to close my eyes, cover my eyes.
Oh God.
You just.
Okay, I'm going to ruin the sticker wall.
I swear, if there's like a crease in it,
Oh,
or you put it sideways.
Now the extra pressure's on. Okay, that is.
Are we done?
It is on.
Okay, all right. I can't hate it. You went with the first option all the way to the right. That's very nice. Thank you very much to Jesse and to Brittany. They were wonderful people.
That's,
and just made it a point to let all of my coworkers on the side gig know that I was getting first choice. This is for something important. It made me look, I think, a lot better than I really am, and I appreciate that. Anytime that my coworkers can be put in their place,
yeah,
I love it.
Did the other four say, what's podcast?
They did not even react. It was as if this interaction never happened.
So we got him.
Yeah. Yep. We got him.
So it's Wyoming time. You guys have a good time out there?
We had a great time.
Did you?
Yeah, it was. We did the show, what we call in the business, we call it live to tape.
That's right.
Because with a 2-hour time difference, we would have had to start the show at like 3 a.m. or something. And we just said, no, we're not going to do that.
Is it mountain time? Is that what
Mountain
that is?
time, yeah.
Because Central, Mountain,
Pacific.
right?
Yep. Yeah, so
What do they call them when you go further? Like, do you got to go to Japan to get the next time zone?
No, I mean, it would have to be Hawaii, right?
No, Hawaii is Pacific.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh,
boy. Oh,
I always
no.
assumed Hawaii was like 6 hours behind Pacific.
I was just talking about our trip to Hawaii. No big deal. I went there a while ago.
Tell me more.
There's something called Honolulu time.
Honolulu
we don't even
time.
have time to dig into that. I can't believe how wrong I was. Again, I visited the state.
I was going to say, it's like a 6-hour journey from the West Coast to get to Hawaii. And I'm pretty confident that it's not like straight down.
Yeah, it's 3 hours further than Pacific time. You're correct. I know this because I made my family wake up at 6 in the morning on the Sunday we were there to take me to a sports bar to watch the Detroit Lions, who started, again, kickoff, 7 a.m. Honolulu time.
Okay, so now that
I
we got that all straightened out, I don't remember.
You're doing live to tape. So
we did the show live to tape. So we started recording at 11 a.m. local time, which was fantastic.
Nice rest.
Oh my God. I woke up at like 7:30. I had breakfast. I watched TV for a little bit. I did all of my prep work that morning,
Okay.
and then we showed up. We recorded the show from 11 until about 3.
Okay.
And had a great time. Did a little meet and greet afterwards with some people, and then we ended up going out to. By that point, it was nearly dinner time. We went to dinner with the radio station staff and some people from the venue where we did the show, which was Frontier Brewing Company and Tap Room.
Very nice.
Great time. It was a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to going back there because such a great group of people. A lot of fun.
Multiple questions.
What you got?
One, for the group, and two would be more selfish. Mm-hmm. First one, I'm curious on how you handle that because I don't know how much of a scheduleman you are. Me, I'm a scheduleman.
Yeah, I'm a scheduleman too.
So while it doesn't seem like a pleasant experience, that alarm clock that hits you Monday through Friday, mm-hmm. It's what your body and what you mentally are now used to. And when you're doing your prep work, mm-hmm. when you're getting prepared for the show, whatever you do to get ready for the next day's show and that day's show type mm-hmm. of thing. So when that is thrown off by 5 hours, and while you sit here and say, yes, there are the benefits are numerous, right? One, you're not waking up at, well before the sun.
That's the problem though. I still did. My internal clock was like, nope, time to get up.
Yeah.
And
especially in a hotel.
The sun comes up early out there.
Does it?
Yeah. Cause you're on like the sunrise side of the,
Isn't the rise in the east?
It rises in the east. Yeah. So you're on the eastern side of the mountain time zone.
But wouldn't it feel like it rises earlier where we live because we're closer to the east? Like we're more easterly?
Right, but they're 2 hours behind us there.
No, I get it. I get that. I think I'm understanding time zones. So you're telling me.
I'll tell you what. Take my word on it. That's all you need to do. Just trust me.
Lay this out for me one more time. So there's mountains there, is what you're telling me. So you still get up super early. And I don't know about you, but for me in a hotel, not like I've traveled for work or anything in a hotel, but I'm always like lost track of time. Like, I'm late, or whatever. What do you do then if you still wake up early? Because you talked about, the benefits. Hey, I was able to have breakfast. I watched TV. But are you just sitting there after about an hour where your body would normally say, like, I'm supposed to be in a studio. We're supposed to be like a half hour in. Are you nervous? Are you uncomfortable? Are you like ready to go?
I was definitely ready to go, but there's always the extra anxiety of doing a live show somewhere, especially when it's somewhere where we haven't been before and the way that we were recording it this time was completely different. Normally we just connect back to the studio, we do the show live, and I don't have to worry about a lot of that stuff. But since we were recording it because it's going to air Monday, tomorrow, or yesterday, if you're listening to this the day that came out, there was a little bit of extra anxiety with it, but for a one-off, I liked it.
Okay.
Definitely liked it. Plus, I get tomorrow off, so that's pretty great.
You thinking of going in tomorrow, recording Tuesday?
No.
And then Tuesday for Wednesday for Thursday, and then you get next Friday off, and then you get the holiday weekend, so you get another 4-day weekend coming up.
The first thing that I said in the show group text when I woke up on Friday morning, when I finally pulled myself out of bed at like 8 o'clock, despite being awake for the last 3 hours, I texted the show. I was like, middays are looking real good.
That's another thing I was going to ask you. Is you now thinking you could spin some tracks?
Boy, if we could record from 11 to 3 every day, air it in morning drive the next day.
Maybe we do that when we come out of the break. Can we pull up maybe a bed, and then we'll have the clock up, and we'll have you just practice. We'll do you and I.
Yeah.
All right. The Steve and Kyle midday show.
Okay.
And we can practice going into a track. Sure. And then we'll come out of the fake track. We'll do another bit and do another track. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because what are we talking? For a midday host bit. 90 seconds?
Max.
2 minutes?
At max, yeah. And I think, so are we ready to offer up our services?
Steve.
And we're going to John Tesh this thing, man. You can put us on any format because we're not referencing the tunes.
No. We're fitting in anywhere.
Yeah.
And we'll work around your clock, and we're going to be family friendly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Tesh is what is it? Is something for your knowledge for your life?
Knowledge for your life. Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Isn't that what it is? And you know
intelligence.
What?
Intelligence for your life.
That's right. I used to run the board for that show quite a bit.
Did you?
Yeah.
All right. Intelligence for your life. So we're going to be knowledge for your soul. Knowledge for Your Soul with Steve and Kyle. Oh,
Boy,
that
I
works
like
out
that.
perfectly because knowledge, K, soul, S, S-K, K-S.
Boy, that's really good.
Soul Knowledge with
That's-
Steve and Kyle, S-K-S-K.
That's really good, right? We just got to make sure that's not some like hidden Nazi symbol, SKSK, and we'll be off and running with our own program.
Soul Knowledge.
I'm not going to get into a sidetrack about John Tesh, but I did just pull him up, and boy, oh boy, does that guy have a nice head of lettuce.
He does.
For 72.
Yeah.
72.
Yep.
You think John Tesh has made more money off of his radio or media career or the music career? Because Roundball Rock made him
Roundball Rock, yeah, probably.
made him millions, right?
All right, easily.
And now it's coming back because the NBA is going back to NBC next year, so NBC is also like the
Bringing back Roundball
Yes.
Rock. Yeah, I don't know. I think, the guy prints his own money, so I wouldn't even begin to guess.
You're looking at it right now. The new John Tesh's. Teshi?
Teshi.
The new John Teshi.
Soul Knowledge with Steve and Kyle.
Soul Knowledge SK. I'm going to hold off on SKSK until I do some Googling because I love it, how it works. But I'm still, I don't know about today's day and age, man. I just want to be certain we're not propagating some type of ancient war that we had no knowledge of.
Can we come up with a logo for this? It'll be basically just the Steve and Kyle podcast logo, but each of us need to have like that floppy mop hair that Tesh has.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Steve and Kyle in the vein of John Tesh.
Yeah.
With SKSK. Yeah, no question. We can make that work.
I'm twirling a basketball on my finger, as paying homage to Roundball Rock.
The big hooper that Steve is.
You know me. All right. SKSK coming to a midday show near you very soon.
Pretty soon. I mean, radio's easy to get into, right?
Yeah, it's simple.
Hiring lots of jobs.
Yeah. Lots of team midday shows.
Yeah. There are two items that I wanted to get to today if we can squeeze them in time-wise, Steve. And one was something we teased last week. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to get a follow-up on it because I have, honestly, part of my job has been a failure in not following up on it in the last few months since we initially spoke about it. Mm-hmm. So we have that. But then I also have, and the tease I have for you is that I was thinking about you in a very vulnerable moment this weekend.
Oh, no.
And so I wanted to run that past you, but I also wanted to get an update on a previous stuff. What should we do here before we get to SK? Knowledge for Your Soul Knowledge with Steve and Kyle.
God, I love that name.
Soul Knowledge with Steve and Kyle, the new midday program. So before we get to that, which of those topics can I bring up to you today?
I want to know why you thought of me when you were in a vulnerable position.
Sure. So for as long as...
do I want to know why you thought of me when you were in a vulnerable position?
That's what we call a tease, Steve in the biz.
Boy, hooked me.
Kyle Consulting, KC. Coming your way soon.
Reeling me in.
Listen, if you guys need tips out there, okay? Because I know the morning circuit's a little different. You guys aren't doing soul knowledge. Yeah. You're doing different stuff, right? Doing bits, you're doing lists, you're doing trivia, you're doing games, you're, you guys are chit-chatting, gabbing. But Kyle Consulting can set you on the straight and narrow.
Okay.
So for years, the lore on this podcast has been, there's even merch about it from our good friend Phil about your trip to, was it Six Flags? I'm sorry.
It was,
with Doug,
it was
right?
in Gurnee, Illinois.
Was it Doug or Bob?
No, it was Bob. It was Doug.
It was Doug.
Yeah, it was Six Flags. Whatever the Six Flags park is north of Chicago.
And again, this was less than 10 years ago. So you were a man in your late 20s.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about that out loud, that even in hindsight, because that sounds like a trip to me that I would like. I've gone to like the Spook Fest down in Orlando Studios in Florida, but I'm just not a coaster guy. So it's a trip I would do. But do you look back at that and go, boy, that felt like a super one-off, right? Like you're not going out there taking trips with your buddies nowadays.
I mean, I would.
Sure.
Doug, he's always loved going on roller coasters. So for a long time, he would like a lot, before he had kids or when his kids were very young, he would, pick up and go somewhere for the weekend so he could knock a couple coasters off of his list. And so he had told me, he's like, yeah, I'm going to come out. I'm going to fly out there and let me know if you want to meet up. I was like, cool. It was a weekend that I had free, so I drove over there, had a blast. So we went.
I'd like to see that happen again.
I met him on a Friday night. Like, I left here after work on Friday. Again, this is before we had kids.
Yep.
So I could do pretty much anything.
Right. You just like flip a net the bird and say, "See you Sunday."
I mean, I don't think that I did that. But
could have flipped a net the bird and said, "See you Sunday."
Could have,
right?
Could have done that.
Sunglasses, slick the hair back,
put my convertible top down in my Sebring,
and then tear out of Valley.
So yeah, I drove over there. I met up with him on a Friday night and met him at the hotel. We ended up going to Hooters across the street.
Right. Yep. And boy, that'll be, if you listen to this podcast, we'll make that the flashback this week.
Okay.
So stay tuned Friday so you can, because yes, the tale of Steve's trip.
We got to make a note of that so we don't forget it.
Was tremendous. The dude's weekend trip to Gurnee, Illinois. Yes.
Yeah, it was as dude as it gets. Like,
I love that.
Shared a hotel room, went to Hooters, ate way too many wings, drank way too much.
Just ate at a Hooters last year, Steve, in Las Vegas.
There's nothing better.
There's nothing.
There's a lot better.
There's a lot better than.
There's a lot better, but there's also, I would say, there's more worse than.
Yeah.
You know something? TBD.
Hooters is a restaurant.
Huh?
And I'm going to plant my flag there.
Okay. Hooters is a place where you can go for food. So we went there. We, again, ate way too many wings. Drank way too much.
Okay. Were you drinking beer back then? Were you
still...
okay.
I was... Yeah, I mean, come on, man. You're at Hooters. You got to drink a beer.
Give me another Mick Ultra.
No, the Hooters is the kind of place where you just say, yeah, I'll take a beer.
That's right. And they slide you one.
Yeah, like on Cheers.
And it's always a tall, skinny, frosted mug, and when she slaps it down, a little froths over the top. Yeah. That's okay. You paid for it, but who cares, right? Yeah. It's part of the experience.
That's all right. Yeah, exactly. You're there for the charm.
Again, Hooters is a restaurant.
So we went to this place, drank way too much, and then got back to the hotel room, and I remember laying down and thinking like, ooh, things are spinning.
This is Friday night.
This is Friday night.
So night one, you're already indulging. It's a dude's weekend.
Yeah.
Right? You guys are chest bumping.
Yeah.
Arm wrestling. Slamming beers together and cheersing boobs. You always cheers boobs though, right?
Yeah. Maybe put it on the poll. Do you always cheers boobs? Yes. So
maybe that's how we lean into now. I know we've been looking to rebrand over the years. Maybe we go like super misogyny, right?
Well, it's better than the one that we've joked about not while recording.
Oh, that's true. Yes. Of the options, the misogyny cast.
This one's better.
Is the better one.
So we got up bright and early the next morning to go to Six Flags. Actually, I don't want to give too much information on this because it's going to be the flashback in a couple of days.
But I got to tell you,
I ended up having a rough time.
Man, now that we're into it, though, now I feel like I love that story. I love that story so much. The ending of, because this isn't a story about roller coasters. I'm a known non-roller coaster guy. It's not for me. This is about before you even got to the coasters. You explained to me that you guys decided after a night of drinking at the Hooters, again, a restaurant,
yes,
that you went to the morning before Coaster Fest. You went to a buffet.
Bob Evans
buffet.
Yeah.
And you hammered some sausage, bacon. You probably slammed some biscuits and gravy. You know, maybe some scrambled eggs from the powder.
Yeah, man, you gotta fill up. You gotta fuel up for a big day at coasters.
And that didn't sit well in Steve's tummy.
In hindsight, not the best decision.
It's not bad thinking outside of the drinking the night before, but the thinking of, you know, hey, I want a meal so I don't have to go pay $18 for a cardboard tin of French fries in an hour, right? Yeah. But you forgive my memory here. Did you make it into the park, or did you not? Or did you have to delay your trip?
No, we made it in.
So you made it in. So you guys already had your tickets. So did you feel this coming on?
No. Okay. I felt pretty good. It was.
You weren't like racing through the ticket. Take my money. Take my money.
No. We got into the park, and then it was after the first ride that we went on.
So you did a coaster, and you thought, okay, time to get rid of the Hooters wings, the Hooters beer,
time to lighten my load,
and the biscuits, eggs, bacon, all that stuff. It's got to go. It's got to go if I'm going to have a day at the park.
Got to come out.
So you went to the restroom, the public restroom, with, probably a dozen stalls, and had to expunge the last 24 hours of food and drink.
Yes.
And
one way to put it. Yeah.
What shocked me was you describing to me that you always take your shirt off before vomiting.
Yeah.
I never considered it.
I swear by this. It is the only way to do it. It's going to change your life.
And it's shrapnel related. It's probably like, at this point, it's probably a little bit comfort related for you. Like if you were forced, tuxedo, you know what I mean? Like if you were forced, it would be obviously awkward, but it would be so foreign to you at this stage that it would be an extra unpleasant experience.
I'd be in a very vulnerable position.
Fast forward to this past week where I've had some issues where it'd been building up that I was going to have to throw up. And it's one of the three things I hate most in this world is throwing up.
Really?
Okay.
Okay. Just not a fan. Not a fan of the barf.
I hate the feeling, the way it leaves my body feeling. I don't like the ritual of it all, the smell of the porcelain, all of it combined. And I'm not out there saying there's a contingent of the population who's like, oh man, there's one thing I
sure do love it.
There's one thing I get off on.
It's barfing.
It's Ralphing into that open John.
The good combination of words right there. The fact that they're both, the fact that you got
two names,
one that's a verb and one that is a noun, but they're also both proper nouns. Love it. Just you're a wordsmith.
I'm posting on the poll. Is there a contingent of folks who get off on Ralphing into open Johns?
Ralphing. And
with a
apostrophe,
obviously, Steve, yes.
If there's one thing we love on this podcast, it's a good shortening of a word, taking off a G and swapping it out with an apostrophe.
Oh, gosh. Also sounds like a Joe Rogan game show. This week on
welcome back to Ralphing and the John. I'm Joe Rogan.
Today we got bugs, feces, and glass.
What you gonna Ralph?
No, the spoiler alert is those are the people's names.
Didn't see that coming.
And we're feeding you cake. It's Sea Week here on Ralphing into John's. So we got cake, carpets, and cardboard. What's going to make you, and then the crowd, Ralphing into John? Man, we are creators of the highest order.
We need a logo
of Ralphing into Open Johns.
Ralphing into John with a character that looks close, but not too close to Joe Rogan.
I get the impression Joe Rogan is litigious enough that we want to avoid, again, like you said, too close. So make him, average height.
Yeah.
Instead of
with a mohawk.
With a mohawk instead of, Joe Rogan height and bald. But we digress. So, yeah, you explained it to me, and I have to tell you, in the probably 8 years or 7 years since you've told me that story, it's come up in my brain every time I feel sick. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm the kind of guy who I said I despise vomiting. So I will be the one who will lay there and make myself just miserable for 12 to 24 hours, doing terrible breathing exercises, trying to not vomit.
No, it's terrible.
So we were there Friday. Reed had a friend over after school, and we were cleaning up Legos in the living room, and I was sitting there again after not feeling too well, and I'm sitting there on the ground, and I stop, and I look out the window. And I don't know if you have a similar point of no return.
No, I do. I know exactly. Mine is, it's like my hands and my feet kind of tingle a little bit.
My fingertips tingle, and just enough in the back of my throat that's like a tickle, but not a fun.
It's almost like a little salivate, like a little salvation.
Yeah.
Salvation?
Salivation?
Salivation.
Salvation is
totally different.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on Soul Knowledge.
I was going to say worship.
Worship. Yeah, we don't want to bring that into soul knowledge. We're not going to get on 300 markets if we're talking salvation. We'll leave that to Delilah and her 4 divorces. I don't want to pose on the poll, but can you talk about, salvation and happiness when you yourself have been 4 times divorced? I don't think so. So, and I get that feeling. It's fingertips, it's back of throat, and okay. I think
it's go time.
And I tell Katie, I have just enough time to tell Katie, like, yep, I'm going to throw up. Mm-hmm. And stand right up, walk right to the bathroom.
Hold on. You said you were going to throw up. You didn't tell her you were going to go, Ralph in the John!
And then Reed cheers, the dogs bark. I'm telling you, that's a game show. That is a game show's game show. It really is, man. I'm going to post that on the poll. Is Ralphin' in the John a game show's game show? So I you speed up and get to the bathroom, close, and as you know, with kids, anytime you're anywhere, lock the door if you can.
Yeah.
And because otherwise I get Reed, hey, Dada, or hey, Dad, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Can I come in?
Ooh. And then you're mad. You feel bad about being mad.
Ralphin' in the John?
Go do your bit elsewhere, kid. And I get down in front of the John.
Which is just it's such a vulnerable position.
It is. It's also a preposterous position. This is where people do their business.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're like, well, I might vomit in the next 3 hours. I'm going to go clean everything around the John, the toilet, just in case.
Like, if you think about it, the better position would be to stand there to grab the garbage can and put the garbage can right up under your chin. Maybe take I don't know if you have like a bag or something in there. Take the bag out, and if it's one of those nice plastic ones, Ralph in the bucket.
And I have to tell you, as an interjection, mid goings on of this, I thought next time I'm just going to lean over the deck.
Yeah, but then you got to worry about, like, in my case, the dog's going to eat it.
Sure. No, that's I thought you were about to say another thing I have to worry about, which is neighbors. And you know my thoughts.
Who cares?
So, but I that's in my brain for next time. So I'm going to consider that. So while I'm close, I'm like, oh no, do I have time?
There's always time.
And so I start doing the patented, again, there's video of this somewhere on our podcast feed.
Yeah, it's the
one arm. I'm reaching.
You grab the collar.
Yeah.
Like right where the tag is on the back of your shirt. And I mean, as long as you elongate your body, that shirt comes right off.
So that's where I was. Mm-hmm. My most vulnerable position.
Yeah.
An open John. I'm about to Ralph into. And I'm thinking, I've got to try this trick that Steve's been talking about for decades.
I know it seems like a trick. I know it seems intimidating, especially for a first-timer like you. But it's such a natural feeling.
I grab, and I think that's where I made my mistake.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I grabbed hunk of shirt, and I didn't go like tank.
You didn't go collar. Gotcha.
I got it over my head, and I ran out of time. So there I was, like Beavis playing Cornholio. Ralphing into the John.
Wait, hold on. Did you Ralph into the shirt? And
no.
Then, okay.
No shirt.
Okay, so you just got...
It got over the top of my head. And I simply ran out of time. So now, going forward, what's going to happen is now my neighbors are going to see me sprint to my deck,
okay,
ripping my shirt off. So, fair warning, neighborhood. The almost 40-year-old man, one hand removing his shirt, Ralphing over his deck. Fully normal.
Oh, my God. This is amazing.
So I tried, Steve.
You
I
did.
tried for you. Thank you for your sage advice.
Uh-huh.
And that's it for this week. On Ralphing in the John. Steve, another delayed news. Last week was a big week for delayed news on this podcast. As we found out, we got the official word that Steve's Siding Project 2025 is canceled.
Steve Siding Project 2026
Is on.
is on. Yeah.
Okay. Whew. I thought you were about to give me another delay.
No,
and
no,
I
no.
thought, oh no.
No. We have just hit backspace once, deleted the 5, and typed in a 6 in its place.
Boy, we might be approaching Kyle's roof 2025. That's for another day.
Hold on.
That's for another day.
Are we putting a new roof on your house?
We? You mean a paid company?
I don't know if you remember, but that factory out in the backyard, or what do you call it, the warehouse?
Oh yeah, the warehouse.
That was roofed by yours truly.
That's right.
No, not one leak yet.
That was not when you had your near fall, right? When you were roofing?
I was in the ballpark.
Okay.
I almost fell when I was putting like the plywood up.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So not when you were up there.
Dude, I knocked that out in like
tarring? Is that what roofing is?
shingle tarring. Yeah.
Shingle tarring?
Yeah, I was up there shingle tarring. But I knocked that out in 2 days.
Shingling and tarring. No big deal.
I could do your house. I'll tell you what. Whatever the bids are that you get, I'll do it for 70%.
Boy, we will have to describe it and talk about this off air because you might be hired. 70% for a half job, like half-time roofer? Like you've done a half roofer?
I mean, I've done a full roof on a small building, so yeah, half.
Half roofer.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
But a while ago, I shouldn't even say a while ago, years ago, which would be another good flashback at this point, when you moved into this house. How long have you been here now?
7.5, almost 8 years.
Almost 8 years. You'd been talking about your desire to force your neighbors into feeling like I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. That's not fair. Into asking your neighbors to hang out with you.
I'm trying so bad to make friends.
So this has been a running theme on this podcast, as anybody listening knows, that I'd argue it's never been closer than as a few months ago, you unveiled to me artwork.
Yeah, I made a logo.
That you, in your downtime, which again, at that point, we were talking about you replacing a roof and a sun and a 3-season room and buying liquidation pallets. Yeah. So in your downtime, you decided to plan a party.
A Zach Fest.
So we've got Sack Fest.
Zach Fest.
Could be an S. It depends on how you look
at
it.
That is 100% a Z.
TBD. Sack Fest Block Party. 2025 was what you had showed me a couple of months ago with happy people grilling and playing sports on a weird gridded brown ground.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's
You're
up
apparently
with,
buying a splash pad.
Not really sure what's up with this poor girl here. She seems to have all kinds of issues.
Yeah.
Like no real leg to speak of.
Everyone welcome at Sackfest. You've got a guy in
the sprinkler is inexplicably making a McDonald's logo.
You've got a guy in the back right corner who is very clearly a Mormon or Amish with a chin strap. But again, at Sackfest, everybody's welcome. And maybe you put that as the subtitle below. At Sackfest, everyone's welcome. You know, we want everybody to be a part. Again, that guy's got a lazy eye in the backpack. That's a terrible lazy eye.
But again, everyone's welcome.
You sent this a few months ago, and I don't know if I've been more ashamed than me forgetting to follow up on this.
Yeah.
Because the last we left this was a text exchange with you and a couple of your fellow neighbors. And I may have planted an egg or a seed that, because it seemed like to me they were okay with it happening.
They were humoring me.
They were okay with it happening as long as you were doing everything. Like thumbs up replies and sounds great. And, you know, while they were okay with it happening.
That sure would be something.
Yeah, they weren't the ones rushing out to the rental shop to get quotes on projector screens or hay bales or whatever.
The projector screen we got covered. Dustin's already got one.
Yeah, money being saved for Sackfest.
Exactly.
We're almost at the first of, the 2 major summer holidays. 3 if you want to count the Labor Day weekend as kind of like the ending.
The end of it.
So I need to get from you where you're at. I don't want to call it a pet project, but I also would argue that I don't think Annette was equally as involved with the idea and excitement as you. So where are you today, Steve? A week before Memorial Day on SACFest.
Be honest, there hasn't been much progress.
Okay. If you had to go back to the last SACFest related text between you and anybody, whether it's Annette, whether it's the neighbor gentlemen that are in this group with you, Dustin and Justin, right?
Yep.
Is that what that is?
Yep.
How far back do you think you'd have to go?
To that night that I I sent the logo to everybody.
Oh no.
Do you think am I going to be over 2 this year in big plans?
I can't have that because I don't know what I don't know what that would do to your psyche, and I don't want that for you to happen. Okay, because I don't want to walk in like you being Charlie Brown, who Lucy just pulled the football again. Right? I can't have that.
Yeah.
So I guess against my better judgment, what do you need from me?
Really?
To get this to happen?
Okay. All right. Now we're talking.
Because I'm here to be an aid to get this thing off the ground so you don't have 2 just devastating, mind-altering failures
Just massive goose eggs
in 1 year.
So you're saying you're going to come to the SACFest?
I will absolutely show up. Me, Katie, I'll see if Reed wants to come.
Well,
he's a kid with plans.
I mean, the problem here is that. Oh boy, I'm trying to put this lightly. You're not one of us.
Okay.
You don't live in the ZAC.
One, nobody gets to snip that. Not even me. Okay? You leave that audio alone. Actually, I'm going to go back over it and cough over it. So nobody can snip that. Okay? Okay, so I just want to recap the last, 90 seconds because it was quite a tidal wave. Mm-hmm. You said, oh, so you're coming. Like excited, almost an invite, felt like to me. Yeah. And I said, well, sure. Yeah, we'll come. And then you seemingly rescinded that invite.
Boy, it's complicated. I guess when you look at it that way, it's a.
This is like planning helping plan someone's wedding, but you don't get to go there. You're not part of it, right? So it's like you're going to the bachelor party, but you don't get the invite to the wedding. Ooh. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which I don't know if that's a thing, but I'm sure it's happened. Yeah. Whew. But you know what? I'm a man of honor. I offered my services before I knew I was going to be invited and then disinvited.
You know something? I'll see if I can get you on the list. There might be an overflow list. So look, there's only so many places to park cars here.
Just me and Katie and Reed on our bikes right outside the ZAC.
Just riding back and forth.
And there's one guy with black sunglasses on holding his arm out like this, like a bar.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Waits for one kid to ride on his bike. All right, one of you.
So you get in, then Katie gets in. Poor Reed is sitting outside by himself,
waving.
While you guys are playing badminton, volleyball.
I want to hear not your biggest plans, but your thoughts, because obviously in your brain you've manufactured what this feels like. You're sitting back, you're sipping on a Crown and 7-Up, and you're just admiring the work you've done and the camaraderie among everybody.
Yeah.
And so in your mind, you've seen what I'm guessing, McDonald's sprinklers firing off, right?
Yeah. Poor kids with very nondescript limbs.
That's right. Again,
hot dogs on fire.
That's a Blair Witch Frisbee. That's a Blair Witch Frisbee.
That is an anarchy Frisbee.
Guess when you said everybody's welcome, you meant it. So what is your most logical but biggest plans that you think, hey, these are attainable things, your mind's eye of this event? Because I want to temper them.
I think I still think it's possible.
Uh-huh. No. It's not possible.
It's happening.
I'm here. I'm here. Again, I'm not invited, but I'm here.
I feel bad. I feel bad about this.
No.
I'm going to go back to the committee. I'll see if for just this once we can allow an outsider in.
Immigration policy of the SAC. Hoping it comes through. Well, I mean, so you're, let's assume 75% of the houses say I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
What you need to do first, and I need this to happen today. Actually, right now, I wouldn't mind it.
Okay.
Wouldn't mind you sending a text to the Dustin, Justin, Steve chat.
Mm-hmm.
Say, hey, does this date work?
Okay.
And I want you to pick, a Saturday. At this point, probably better to go August, maybe late July.
You think? So I'm already, boy.
That's the height of summer.
I backed myself into a corner, though. I mean, by not setting a date for this earlier.
It's better to err on the side of mid to late summer.
Okay.
I mean, Steve, that weather sure can be wacky.
I never know what's next. Tomorrow it's going to snow.
What's it going to rain? And then be sunny? Where are the clouds? That's what all you weather people sound like. Bobcat.
Right.
That's what you sound like to me. Weather Bobcat. I want you to pick a date. Find a Saturday on your schedule right now.
All right.
That you guys aren't going to be gone. You're not traveling with a side gig to, Arizona or wherever else you got an affiliate to do a hot gig. And I need you to send that before the day's over. Before the day's over is good. You got to talk to your wife.
Yeah.
You got to make all those plans. And send that to the Dustin, Justin, Steve chat. Because once we get a date in stone.
The DJS chat.
The DJs. We need to start thinking, what do we need? What do we have and what do we need?
Yeah.
Because you said you got a projector.
Got a projector?
I think sprinklers are fine, but no. We need some bigger water thing, right?
Boy, we might have one of them already. Because I over in Dustin's backyard, they got a nice little inflatable water slide thing.
I don't even want to offer this. I can't believe I'm about to do this. I've got a 10-foot high 3-slide inflatable water bounce jump house that I'm willing to contribute to the cause.
Are you offering that to me for no cost?
Wink, wink. For no cost.
Huh.
Okay.
I feel like when you say wink, wink.
No. It's the wait list. Right? Wink, wink. Right?
Again, it's hard to look past the wink, wink and think that you're not lying.
No. No cost. Wink.
Now that you altered your voice for it, so now it's even more alarming.
Sure.
So,
TBD.
How much will this cost me?
No cost. Huh? Wink, wink.
See, there it is. I just don't.
I've got that.
I don't really know what to believe.
I've got a slip and slide.
Okay.
Willing to contribute to the cause. Okay. Huh. Let's call the water fun. Mark it off.
Checked off. Huh?
Handled. Huh. We've got that. We got to. So we need seating for the big movie fest that night.
Yeah.
So we're talking, maybe some hay bales, or you save yourself that time. Tell people bring your bag chairs or your blankets.
Yeah.
Right.
Or I could buy some bleachers.
That's true. You could rent bleachers. Either that, or you and I Saturday at like midnight, we head down to the local high school.
Oh, just steal them.
We'll come up to the back of the Manchi, drag them.
Oh man, now I got to get the Manchi running in the next 3 months.
We can't go for 3. So consider seating taken care of.
Okay.
So now, really, what do we have left? Some games.
A grill. We got to get a big grill. Kids.
Some lazy-eyed dad with no family in the back corner.
And Abe Lincoln.
And hell, you got yourself a party.
Okay. Do I try to book a band? Or some kind of entertainment? Maybe a juggler? A magician?
I adore this idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I am a week away from going to a little get-together that my wife's friend's house, cabin, about an hour away in the sticks. And last year had the same event. And band playing in the afternoon.
Really?
Kids dancing.
What kind of music were they playing?
They were doing mostly like...
hardcore?
It was not. So it was like a mix of AC/DC Megadeth with some Marilyn Manson. It was mostly like covers of maybe some rock songs, but like some country songs, whatever.
Got it.
Added to the experience tenfold.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, now you got to think about like the audio experience. And I know you.
I'm an audiosman.
You're an audiosman.
Do you think would I be able to use this mixer here?
Well, we're live recording, so yes. You're going to have to take an hour out of your party.
Oh,
so we can do a podcast.
So we're doing the podcast live. Got it.
So
are we going to invite the people to be like our guest, because that's where the bleachers would come in really helpful.
That really would. Okay, so we got to steal these bleachers now. Does anybody have an in on bleachers? Okay, if you have an in on bleachers,
I'm on Marketplace.
and we're not talking like massive ones. They don't need to be like 10
full
rows up.
set,
Okay, full set only.
Bleachers.
If you're off, I swear to God, if you,
$500 I got a set.
if you text me that we have to go pick up bleachers without telling Annette, I'll pay you $10 because I want to see her face when you come home with the bleachers without her knowing.
How much we got in the slush fund?
Not 500.
What about 1,800?
Close. You know, we'll make up the difference.
Okay. All right. By the way, we got to figure out how to unlock those funds in the slush fund.
Yes, we do. Yes,
We've talked about talking about it many times.
Yeah. We were not costing ourselves money, but we're just looking at like it's like looking at something behind like plexiglass that's yours, but you can't get to it.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing to ourselves.
Yeah, it's like a lost and found, but I just can't prove that it's mine.
Michigan bleacher rentals, affordable bleacher rental. Oh, they got options.
Okay. If anybody's got an in on bleachers,
Yes.
you can attend this party unobstructed.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike Kyle and his family, who will have to wait on the outside for the 1 in, 1 out policy.
Fire marshal, there's code.
It's only fair.
There's code. I get it. Listen, you're preaching.
I don't want to break the rules.
Nope. You don't. We do not need the fire marshal shutting down this outdoor get together. Now that I mentioned that, here's another concern. Yeah. I mean, well, no, I guess everybody lives here, right? So you don't have to worry about restrooms. You don't have to like rent porta johns.
Oh, I will.
You're going to. Okay. I don't know how you're going to pool all this together, but are you talking tent? You know, just in case there's adverse weather, you don't have to worry about it. Tent with some tables.
Boy, I like the idea of camping out too. Everyone could camp out on their front lawns.
That's too far. Okay, people want to sleep in their beds. Let's grow up. By the end of the day, Steve, can I get from you a screenshot of you sending? Let's list 2 to 3 days to the DJS chat that. Just as a reach out moment, right?
Do you think that I need to just rip the Band-Aid off and say, hey, I'm thinking June 15th, July 18th, or August 9th?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
so
there's no reason to ease back into it at this point.
So you don't think that I should say, hey, I know we had talked about this a while back. Everyone's still interested?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
No. At this point, don't give them an out.
They've already committed.
Yep. By the way, the very, very local rental place, $175 for bleachers. 4 rows deep, 56 people.
56 people?
56 people.
That's a big bleacher.
It's a decent sized bleacher. 4 rows. If you want that full size, you rent 2.
I don't know if we're going to need seating for 112.
$175 a day. You want that puppy for the whole week? $525.
No, I don't. I don't think I need it.
Don't think you want it for the whole day?
What about hay bales? They got hay bales there too.
Steve, what do you think about a dunk tank?
Oh, I love it.
Who doesn't love a dunk tank?
They deliver it pre-filled.
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a lot of water.
Looks like you're out of luck. You're going to have to provide the 500 gallons of water.
Oh my God.
And a 2-inch ball. Okay, can't even provide me a ball. That's an additional $200 for the dunk tank.
That seems worth it, though.
I feel like we could, talk them down if we get a combo deal.
You think so?
Hey, come on.
Wait a minute. Are we talking about the really local place?
Yes.
They love me there. There are 2 women that work there that I chat up every time I'm in there.
It's like my brother's first job.
Was it really?
We all go in there. He's uninvited, though.
No.
It's 4 more. Those bleachers only seat 56. We got to limit this.
We walk in there. We charm the pants off those old ladies that work there.
I think we're out the door for $300. Right?
And if they offer us a price that's a little bit too high, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lean on the counter. I'm going to look over and be like,
you have a loose shirt on?
Yeah, come on. Betsy. Yeah. Not the best you can do for your old buddy? Your old flame? Come on. Can we get $275?
What about human size Connect 4? Does that intrigue you? 50 by 50?
Feet?
Inches.
Oh, okay.
4 feet by 4 feet? Huh?
That's a huge Connect 4.
Huh? A little Connect 4 out there?
Ah, boy. That's,
$55. Add it to the tab.
Okay. All right. So by day's end,
yes,
I will have a screenshot sent to you. I may include on there. Do you mind if there are outsiders? Look, I want to get the feel of the the neighborhood. I don't want to just Invite any riffraff in from off the streets.
And I'll let you code it how you want to, but depending on what you know about your neighbors' politics, maybe say, "Hey, what's your thoughts on immigrants coming through?"
So you and your family in this case are the immigrants.
We would be the immigrants. Yeah, we'd be obviously coming to from a different nation,
coming to our land.
Yeah, same side of the train tracks, but different nation.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. The train tracks are long.
But I'll leave that up to you. You know D&J more than I do, so I'll leave that to you. I can't wait. Because then we got to start talking caterer. I mean, you making your own food?
Yeah, of course. What I was thinking is that everybody could kind of bring their grills to a universal spot.
Yeah, you know how that goes, though, right? One guy ends up being in charge of all the grills, and that's a bummer for that guy.
Yeah, I'm a terrible grillsman too.
Yeah,
I mean, I can make do, but
and
nobody's coming to me and being like, "Hey, are you making your special burgers or whatever?"
Right. One of those.
Oh, you mean the burnt ones? Yes.
And one of those guys like my brother, who's like waking up at 3 a.m. to smoke meat, or doing everything on the Blackstone with proper oil and stuff.
Could we hire Robert
to cook?
But
not engage?
Oh no, he's not even going to be on the street. He's we're going to set him up around the corner.
Okay, so he's going to be smoking meat on the street.
And I'll send Nicky over there in his Power Wheels every 20 minutes or so.
Yep, Nicky.
Load it up.
Yep, and he'll just point to the back. No words to the cook. Point to the back end of the Power Wheel. Yep. Load up the meat. We got hungry folks.
Yeah, we need 6 more briskets.
Toss them in. Okay, listen, this thing's already further along in 15 minutes than it was in the previous 2 months.
I agree. And I thank you for making me stick to this.
Sometimes I feel like I don't think you need a nudge, but you take on things that we talked about last week or recently, that I feel like you might overwhelm yourself with things that you plan on doing. When I heard about the siding, the sunroom, and then you guys started buying pallets, and then this came up, and it feels like that was all within, honestly.
Yeah.
Pretty quick.
Look, this winter was long and cold, and I had a lot of time to think. I'm an ideasman. I love coming up with ideas. I love coming up with plans. Following through on them 100% sometimes is my issue, but this is going to happen. It's absolutely going to happen.
Can't wait.
All right. I know you got to get out of here.
Yes.
Got stuff to do, places to be.
Yes, I do. Sadly, that's pretty rare for me, but I'm proud saying it.
You feel good? Feel good about it?
Yeah, having things to do is pretty rare for me.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week at Steve & Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky.
We totally forgot. What are we doing next week? Are we doing a normal podcast?
What else would we be doing?
Or are we backing up a 40% functional Jeep Comanche to the local Memorial Day parade?
That's on Saturday?
It is on. No, it's on Monday, the big Memorial Day.
Oh, so it's actually. So
it's on Memorial Day.
8 days.
We got 8 days to figure out if we're going to. Well, before that, because if we don't record before that, we're kind of up a creek.
Okay.
See, oh no, I don't mean to put this on you because I know the Jeep's not running, and we just talked about how it's like you've planned some overwhelming stuff.
But I have like the final piece. It should be here within 2 days that I need to put it back together.
You need some hands?
Oh boy. You know something? You did help me put a transmission in my old Jeep.
I did. I also helped you pull a sled with a axle
yes.
on it to your backyard.
I'm at the point where I need to put a transmission in.
What's that, 10 minutes tops?
You're a transmissionsman.
I'm a tranny man. Nope, I'm a transmission.
Can't say that anymore.
Transmission man. Transmissioner.
Okay. Well, I may be giving you a call in the next day or two saying, need some help. Need some help. Let's get it in.
Happy to do it.
Actually, I'm not going to text you saying, need some help. Let's get it in.
Yeah, no. How about you just text me, hey, transmissioner.
We'll talk to you next week.
Woo!
See you later.